There we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Park Bench Chelsea. I'm so delighted you stopped by. Today I have a guest to introduce you to. This is Chuck Colby. Chuck is the executive director of the Sun-Times, which is a local newspaper that services Chelsea, but also Dexter and Saline, and maybe more in the future. Anyway, I'd like to introduce you to Chuck, who has a passion for helping small businesses like you get your face out there, get your stories out there, and he's going to share the Sun-Times and its story with us today. Thanks so much for coming, Chuck.
Thanks, Lou. It's a pleasure to be here. So the Sun-Times newspaper has been around for quite a long time, actually, 139 years in business. It originally started as the Town Crier in Stockbridge, and then about 15 years ago expanded into Chelsea shortly after the Chelsea Standard and Dexter Leader had folded and started as a paper here in town, and has grown and gotten smaller in the last 15 years. At its peak, the newspaper was being mailed to about 30,000 homes. And then, of course, when COVID hit, we had to scale it way back, and it was shut down for a short period of time. And now we're back to distributing to about 13,500 and probably 20,000 by the end of this year, actually. But right now, the newspaper gets mailed to every home in Dexter, Chelsea, and about half of Saline right now.
Okay, very good, great. So, what is the mission of the Sun-Times?
I think the mission of the paper is to engage the communities that we serve by providing local news that matters. It's hyper-local news. We're not really telling you anything about Michigan, certainly not national news or world news. We're telling you about things that are happening in Dexter and Chelsea and Saline and the region right here, things that are happening in Washtenaw County. And those things, the things we cover local news. We cover local school board meetings. We send people to the not the town halls, but to local government meetings. And we cover school sports extensively. Mike Williamson, who's been with the paper, he's been with us for 25 years, and he works at Jiffy Mix during the day, and at night he goes out just about every single night of the week and goes to games and reports those games and takes photos. And we are just so lucky to have him reporting school sports for these communities, because honestly, Lou, I'll tell you, one of my goals in life is to have every kid have their picture in the paper at some point in time. I think it's important that kids feel that moment of fame, the little bit of notoriety, and it's that's a major goal of the paper for sure.
Have every kid in the paper at some time during their school journey?
I would love that.
Well, that's fantastic. I know I still have a few clippings from the dark ages.
I do too.
When
Yeah.
I was in high school, of some singing that I did. And
Oh, for sure.
Some high school stuff. So that's great. So how can small business get in touch with you? How do you see the Sun-Times helping them?
Well, there are a number of ways. I mean, right now, coming out of the pandemic, I think it's incredibly important to advertise. As we were talking before, there are some people who really, honestly, have just started to venture out of their homes, just recently. And I think the most important thing that you can do as a business right now is say, hey, I'm still here. And so, putting even a small ad that just says, "Hey, we're welcome back. We're in business. We want you to come in," and I think it's very important to do that. And it keeps your name. It keeps top of mind awareness for customers that have been with you, or maybe that are even new. And of course, the conversion rule is people generally need to see something. They need 7 impressions before they buy something or go to a store. And so those impressions may be on the internet. They may be an ad that they get served on their phone. It might be in the newspaper. And so I think you need to do really, I think you have to do everything right now I think you have to have an email newsletter. I think you have to have a Facebook account for your business. I think you need to do some digital advertising, and I think you need to be in print, honestly.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that your sentiments feed right into the mindset of Park Bench,
Yeah.
which is to let local businesses have a website for no cost.
Right.
To be able to be available 24/7 and to tie into the paper
Absolutely.
and other advertising sources. So thank you so very much for sharing
Absolutely.
the Sun Times and its mission.
My pleasure.
And it's delightful to meet people who are just so enthusiastic and motivated to make their businesses and other businesses be better. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Liv.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure.